Good afternoon and welcome to this year's first edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Scarlett Chu.
And I'm Claire Blackington. First, we go to Manjot to learn about the changes that the school underwent this summer.
New facilities have been added to Northwest over the past couple of months. The building now boasts a new weight room, new wrestling space, new tennis courts, and a new coat of paint.
We have purple courts with a gray around the outside. We have all new nets, all new fence that is put up, as well as on the west side of our courts, we've cut down the fence, so viewing is a little bit better for spectators. And then new towers as well.
The new equipment in the weight room, we have 14 new platforms that we're using. We didn't bring any of the platforms over from the old weight room. And then in addition to the 14 new platforms, we actually have 14 inlaid platforms in the floor. So basically doubles the area that we can work on platform lifts.
The new equipment and spaces provide more opportunities for Northwest athletes and students.
The features of the new wrestling room, it's going to be pretty ideal now that we have both a boys and girls Acacia-sponsored wrestling teams. Last year it was kind of a struggle because we had basically 3 teams practicing out of the same room, so it just kind of extended the evening time for practices into the evening. So with the new room, it'll be nice because the girls won't have to practice late like they did last year.
My training is different from the fact that my freshman year, we had to wrestle with the boys inside the room, and that was really crowded. But my sophomore year, we had to wrestle after the freshman boys and the varsity boys, and that was at like 6 o'clock. The new weight room keeps me in shape and also introduces me to new exercises that I didn't know I could do.
I think now we have the best facility in the ECAL, in my opinion. There's no other courts that you will find that have this design, and obviously they're new, so we just have a lot of space to sit down out here as well with our bleachers, and we have new benches, picnic tables as well.
Just a great place to be. The one aspect of we really like the new weight room is we have quite a big bank of windows, and so to have the natural light compared to the old weight room where we didn't have any windows that we could see outside. So now we can brighten the room up with the outside light.
The facility upgrades will help pave the way for Northwest to continue growing in the classroom and in the various competitive arenas. This is Manjot Singh Lamba for Husky Headlines.
Hey, were you at the Blackout soccer game?
I was. Anaya tells us about a field dedication that happened before the game to honor a Husky legend.
Over the summer, Northwest underwent many changes. At the deck, people may have noticed a new name at the top of the scoreboard on the soccer field. On August 29th, before the boys' varsity soccer game, the field was dedicated to Dr. Pribyl, Northwest's first head soccer coach and an English teacher. Those who knew and taught with Pribyl at North and started with him at Northwest recognize his impact on the school when it first opened in 1993.
Being a new building, new staff, we really got to get to know each other. So we were very, very young in the math department. So what we lacked in the math department was really people to serve as mentors. Rick and his wife Linda both really served for me in that role as I went through some different things.
Dr. Pribyl was just a big prankster and kept everything lighthearted, so it was easy to gravitate toward him. Because of that.
Pribyl was a teacher and coach at Northwest from the school's opening until 2018 when he retired. During that time, he won 7 soccer state championships, 14 regional championships, and 11 EKO titles, while leaving a lasting impact on those who knew him before his passing in December of 2024. Not only did Pribyl make connections with his coworkers, but also his students. His family and others carried on his legacy at the school and in their communities.
2000 to 2003 soccer player, and I was the only freshman on varsity because we had a really stacked team, but they needed a goalkeeper, and so luckily I fit the bill. What he taught me was invaluable for the rest of my career as a goalkeeper, but also for the rest of my life, was to be a leader and to use my voice. And he just cared about us as athletes. He cared about us as people.
So this is the only place in the world where people don't call me by my first name. My dad nicknamed me Moondoggy for no reason necessarily, and called me Moondoggy to all of his teams and all of his players and all of his coworkers and all of his students. And so forever and ever, I am Moondoggy when I'm here. I've probably seen about 150 of his games on this field. I use what my dad taught me every day. You learn how to lead without yelling by convincing people that they came up with the idea that was yours in the first place. He was really good at that.
I think the coach who we all desire to be. He was calm and poised, but his players came first, the people came first. He had a way of drawing people in without being loud or demanding or obnoxious in any way. You wanted to know what he was saying, you wanted to know what he was thinking. The thing I learned from Coach Pribyl is that people matter, is that you can do all the things right that you want to, but if you're not taking care of people, you're not doing it right. Well, usually he took care of you by pranking you in some way, by getting you to laugh, getting you to have a good time.
Though Pribyl's loved ones said he would be honored by the dedication, they said the main thing he would have wanted was success for his students and athletes.
My first reaction was what he would have thought, which is he would have started rolling his eyes and he wouldn't have stopped. He would have absolutely hated this in the best way possible, because he would say it's his teams, it's his other coaches, it's everyone else but him. But I actually don't live far from here, and so since my dad's passed, every once in a while I'll drive by just to check in, and like this was his happy place, and so this just makes sense.
The fact that we don't have a lot of things named after people in Blue Valley, the number of hours that he spent making this school what it is, building the foundation of our programs, both as a department chair in the English department and as head soccer coach. The fact that we are putting his name for people to see, to wonder who he is and then seek what his legacy was, I think that's amazing.
Seeing everybody there, everybody who came out, it was unbelievable. It was emotional. It was very emotional. I know our athletic trainer, Christy, and I were on the sidelines passing each other toilet paper because we were crying, and it was a lot for us just because we're coaching probably the biggest game we coach every year. But it was so cool that moment we got to share it with Coach Pribyl and his family and seeing what they've done to continue on his legacy.
The fact that at his memorial service, players and students came from all over the country to pay their last respects. And the fact that there were former players here tonight who wanted to be part of this evening because he had meant so much to them. I mean, it's hard to tell somebody who didn't know him, hey, you should have known this guy. But I think just his name on the field, and every once in a while if somebody asks, you know, who was that? Why is it named that? If I'm around, I'd be happy to tell them all about it.
Those who knew Pribyl say he left a lasting impact on all that knew him. His success as a coach and influence on Northwest will now be remembered anytime we play on Rick Pribyl Field. This is Anaya Zaman for Husky Headlines.
Tiara now introduces us to some of the new staff members that called Northwest home.
Northwest has welcomed many new faces this year. Let's get to know some of them on this edition of Husky Pause.
I teach math, specifically Algebra 1 and Geometry. This is my first year teaching. I just graduated from Nebraska-Lincoln. 2 fun facts. Okay, first one, in high school I did bowling. A second one, I had like over 4 knee surgeries and they've all been really intense.
I teach math. This year I'm teaching Algebra 2 and Math Strategies for Algebra 1. This will be my 9th year. Fun fact, I graduated from Blue Valley Northwest High School, class of 2013. And related to that, I married my high school sweetheart from Blue Valley Northwest High School.
I teach honors chemistry and physical science. This will be my 6th year teaching and my 1st year at Blue Valley Northwest. Well, one fun fact is I'm a little bit of obsessed with fireworks, and I actually have a pyrotechnics license. And then I also coach football and wrestling and stay pretty active with athletics.
I teach journalism. This is my 5th year. 2 fun facts. I worked at Worlds of Fun for 7 years, high school and a little bit through college. I've been skydiving.
This is my 14th year. English, 9th grade and 12th grade. I was lucky enough to get a master's degree in London, and I really like cooking a dinner that is all the same color food.
Technically my 10th year teaching, 1st year here at Northwest. I teach astronomy and biology. 2 fun facts. I make hot sauce at home. I grow my own peppers and make and jar my own hot sauce. And I have won chili competitions before and have the undefeated best chili in Lawrence since 2011.
This is Tierra White for Husky Headlines.
Speaking of new staff members, we go to Addie to learn about the new library media specialist.
Along with the new school year comes new faces in the building. The library is home to one of our new staff members, library and media specialist Megan Roberts.
In total, it's my 8th. I've had 8 years, so it's my 9th year as a librarian starting this year. And then before that, I taught for 9 years. I was a kid who always, I've been an avid reader my whole life. But initially, I went into education to teach English and loved it. But I had an amazing librarian at my first school, and I thought, oh my gosh, this could be the best because you get to see every student. You get to talk about what I love to talk about, which is books.
Roberts wants to make the library a special place with different activities and engagements.
Okay, so beyond teacher stuff, I feel like it's just creating a really welcoming space for students. I want them to feel like they can come in at any point. I want to be an extra help for students, and so I think it's just building that relationship with them. And I think sometimes it's a little bit harder. I always say that I really love being a classroom teacher because within the first week, you kind of start to know students, you can learn names, and that's the one drawback of being a librarian. It just takes a little bit longer because I don't see students every single day. Every week we'll have weekly puzzles that you can take and complete and then bring back. And so we always do a word puzzle, and then we always do Sudoku. And Sudoku is a number puzzle, and we have varying difficulties.
Roberts works closely with fellow colleague Craig Odo in the library to create a welcoming space.
Every year in the library we set a lot of goals. A couple of goals that we really have set for ourselves. One is to really find out how each other likes to work, and so that we can work as a team, which is already happening, which is great. We also have a goal, as always, to see more books checking in and out, to see our students reading more often. We're really lucky to have Ms. Roberts here. She is, like I say, very experienced, brings a great energy, and is going to be a huge asset to our school.
Visit the library to meet Mrs. Roberts and find some awesome puzzles and books that might tweak your interest. This is Addie Pope for Husky Headlines.
2 old teachers are now taking over as the sponsors of student government. We go to Reagan to learn more about this new duo.
With the resignations of the previous student government sponsors at the end of last year, it was necessary for new people to step in and fill these important roles. Math teachers Nick Titus and Emma Williams have taken the reins in place of Sarah Dirks and Taylor Hyman.
I had previously been a class sponsor for the last few years. So I've been involved with Stugo, and once the position opened up, I was asked if I wanted to take it over.
I originally started as the junior class sponsor, and then Mr. Titus was asked to become the Stugo sponsor and needed an assistant Stugo sponsor, so he came and asked me if I was interested in moving from junior sponsor to assistant Stugo sponsor instead.
Being creative, cooperative, and a hard worker are important skills to have to be a great Stugo member.
I would describe Stugo as this leadership program that students are in. It is all about school involvement and just making sure everybody has a voice and is involved in some way in our school.
Stugo can kind of be seen as really serious, it's planning, but it's not.
As a member of Stugo for the last 4 years, senior Natalie Tribby has learned lots about collaborating with others.
It was a little different, when we first started, but now it's I know these people, I know what to expect. It's really great. We work together really well, and it's easy to bounce ideas off of each other.
Titus and Williams each have their own roles, but members are finding that they make a great team.
Miss Williams does a lot of the planning, and she helps us out with a lot of ideas, and Mr. Titus will make a lot of the calls and the logistical stuff and send a lot of the emails that we do. So it's they're very coordinated in what they do, but they don't do the same things.
Even with small adjustments being made, Stugo has maintained their work ethic and passion for what they do. They are currently preparing for Spirit Week and the Homecoming Dance on September 27th. This is Reagan Rudd for Husky Headlines.
Did you hear about the Irish festivities that took place over Labor Day weekend?
No, but Julia went to Irish Fest to learn more about the culture.
For this edition of Husky Worldwide, we found out that Irish culture runs deeper than this single weekend. For some in our community, it's a heritage they carry with them every day.
My Irish heritage really means to me kind of an example of where I specifically come from and my family's history. Being an American, we all kind of come from somewhere, and I just find it interesting to kind of look back at where I came from. As a history teacher, I find an excuse to talk about it a lot, thankfully. They were initially one of the first colonies of England or Great Britain. They experienced a bunch of rough stuff as part of that system. Obviously, probably the most well-known is going to be like the Irish potato famine. Throughout history, the Irish people have kind of gone out throughout the rest of the world. Obviously, a bunch of them came here to the United States, especially during the 1800s. They kind of slowly integrated into society, facing some pretty big hurdles along the way. But nowadays, they're more or less considered just like average Americans.
For some, Irish culture means laughter, parties, and green hats. For others, it's a reminder of the struggles and traditions carried across generations.
I dress up like a leprechaun every year for St. Patrick's Day, and it's the only day of the year you can find me in a crowd because I wear a 2-foot-tall hat. Both sides of my grandparents came from Ireland. They came up through Louisiana. So we always had a big meal for St. Patrick's Day, decorated like crazy, and had a good time. So lots of eating and drinking.
Irish culture, to me, really is a great example of a lot of different aspects of the American experience. The Irish people have really gone through it all throughout history, and you can compare it to a lot of other different backgrounds, like with the experience of like colonization from Britain, being immigrants and facing discrimination here in the United States.
That same sense of tradition is what makes Kansas City's Irish Fest one of the largest celebrations of Irish culture in the nation. Every Labor Day weekend, crowds gather downtown to experience authentic music, food, and art.
An experience that I had when I was a child that really connected me to my Irish heritage was actually probably going to Irish Fest for the first time. I not only saw my sister perform, I got to try some really good food. And I saw this Irish, kind of a mix of rock and Irish folk called the Elders, who are like a KC-based Irish band. That's like one of the first things that really got me into wanting to learn more about Irish history.
My favorite personal memory was probably when my daughter was little, and we went there, and they had little huts that looked like old school little huts from Ireland with the straw roofs and stuff, and she liked to play in them. We also got that same one, we got to see the Elders play, and then we had a family friend that was performing in one of the Celtic dances.
For students and teachers alike, festivals like this help connect people back to their heritage while also welcoming others into the culture.
KC Irish Fest, at least to me, really stands out, partly because it isn't just for people of Irish descent, in my opinion. It's really like a celebration of that culture that anyone can participate in.
From the streets of Dublin to the heart of Kansas City, Irish culture is alive and thriving. And for many at Northwest, it's not just a celebration, it's a way of life. This is Julia Haney for Husky Headlines.
Up next, I hung out with the fall sports team to learn about the special training that they do in preparation for the season.
The fall sports teams here at Northwest have started a rigorous training routine for the year ahead. Some teams, like cross country, are taking a more unique approach to how they're going to train this season.
I've done the swim training at every school I've been to, so I knew about it way back in the early 90s. The program that I got a hold of was from Coach Timmons at KU, and he was the coach at Wichita East, I think, and he was also not just a track coach, but he was the swim coach. So he incorporated some things that he knew there, and well, I just started doing that when I had the availability of a pool.
This swim training has proven to be a big asset for the cross-country team in their overall health and speed.
We're running about 5 miles a day, 5 to 7 days a week, and that can be pretty tough. So I'd say the reason we do this, or at least the reason coaches explain to us, is it's injury prevention. So it's very hard to treat an injury once you have it, but if you can prevent it, then it's a lot better and it leads to more success for the team.
I think the pool training will overall be good. It took a bit to get used to because that was my first time doing it. But my legs, even though we were still doing a workout, they felt better after and more rested. So
a major benefit is just being in the water. And we really try to attack the lower leg injuries if we can. So we do kickboards, we do a lot of kickboards, and that's just isolating the muscles, in your lower leg. We strengthen those, and we don't have shin splints in cross country.
Before I did pool training, I had a lot of pain in my knees, and sometimes I'd go on runs, and I'd be bawling my eyes out because of all the pain. And after pool training, I haven't really had knee pain since then.
The cross-country team hopes to have a great season with the addition of this unique approach to training. This is Claire Blackington for Husky Headlines.
Speaking of sports, we put our very own Sama Salim up against the volleyball team for this month's edition of H2 Versus.
Welcome back to this year's first edition of H2 Versus, where we put the Northwest community up against H2 staff members. This month, we put our very own Sama Salim up against freshman setter Jacqueline Elliott of the varsity volleyball team.
Honestly, just because my friend made a team with her mom, and I was just I'll try it. So I went to my first practice and I came home and I was that's the most fun I've ever had. I just stuck with it.
Elliott's love and passion for volleyball is what got her to where she's at today as one of only 2 freshmen on the varsity squad.
Well, I went to a lot of camps over the summer. That's kind of what I did the entire summer, was go to volleyball camps. And then I also have a basketball court in my backyard, so I would always set. I have a setter target too, so I'd just set that every day.
Jacqueline does a great job being a freshman on varsity. She's such a great leader, and I think it's really hard to come in as a freshman and be that leader, and she's done a great job doing that.
Elliott's leadership skills really shine through when teaching Salim how to play the setter position.
Jacqueline was an amazing teacher, and I would forget that she's a freshman while she's teaching me because she was so mature and technical in her way of teaching that is something that I don't see a lot in freshmen, but she was really great, and I'm excited to see her play this year. I've never played volleyball in terms of playing it in a team, but I've played through and I've played it for fun with my friends, but I've never tried actually learning how to play volleyball.
Despite Salim's lack of experience, Elliott and Manza seemed somewhat impressed with her performance.
I think she did really good at setting. Yeah, I thought she was super coachable. I thought whatever I told her, she'd try her best to do, and that's really great.
I thought she was really good at trying new things and not being scared to do those new things and being able to just commit fully to do them.
My favorite was playing the mini 3-on-3. I loved the scrimmage. It was a lot of fun, and I got to see how good these girls were, because usually I see them just playing and they're playing against really good people, so I get to see that, but it was different playing with them, and they were going easy on me, of course, but it was just fun interacting with them in that capacity.
Although Salim did a great job, there are always setbacks when learning a new sport.
Getting up in the air, which is hard to do, especially with the timing and stuff, hitting the ball.
I thought her hitting could use some work, but that's okay. That's the hardest part.
I don't see myself having a future in volleyball. I could not jump high enough, and starting to learn a sport right now would be definitely a challenge, but I think I would go on and just play it more recreationally with my friends.
It looks like Salim has decided to stay behind the camera to film sports rather than participating in them. Get out and catch the varsity volleyball team in action September 27th at Blue Valley West. This is Rylan Jarrah for Husky Headlines.
The volleyball team has been doing great recently.
We go to Game Day Guides to tell us about the amazing work our fall sports teams have put in so far this year.
What's up, Blue Valley Northwest? I'm your HSN host, Game Day Guides, and welcome to this year's first edition of Husky Sports Network. Let's jump right into the fall season. Up first, boys soccer. Following a dominant 5-0 win versus Manhattan High School, the team placed third in the Fat Cat tournament, finishing with 2 wins and 1 loss. At press time, the soccer team was 2-4 for the season after a tough loss to Lee Summit. Moving on to football, the Huskies started the season strong with an undefeated 2-0 record behind 2 40-point performances. Leading the pack is senior LJ Bowens, who had 6 touchdowns between the first 2 games. The Huskies' home opener was on Friday against St. James Academy. That result was not available at press time. Now let's take a look at cross country. Junior Jacob DeSouza finished first in the boys' 5,000-meter run at the Greg Wilson Classic and second at the Ray Moore Peculiar Invitational. The girls are continuing to work hard as they prepare for their next meet on September 22nd at the Baldwin Invitational. Next up is girls tennis, who sprinted out to a 3-1 start with a 10-0 season opening win against Bishop Meach, and their most recent victory coming in dominating fashion, 17-1 against Shawnee Mission South. The next match will be tomorrow at Blue Valley West. Looking next at volleyball, after a home opening win against Olathe South, they've had a slow start to the season with a 1-5 record at press time. With new freshman setter Jacqueline Elliott running the offense and some key injuries to the starters, Huskies are looking to improve in the Invitational on September 27th. Last in today's report, we take a look at girls golf. Twins Isabella and Caroline Lee both recently shot their personal best, Caroline shooting an 86 at Heritage Park and Isabella shooting an 88 at Minor Park. The team looks to improve with their next tournament at County Club Leewood this afternoon. That's it for today's report. Stay sporty, Northwest.
The cheer squad has added a new coach to their staff. We go to Lily to tell us about the impact that he is having.
This year, there's a new face on the sidelines working with the cheer team, assistant coach Andy Showman, who is also a school resources officer for the Blue Valley School District.
I've been a police officer for going on 22 years now. First year of SRO. I'm in charge of 7 elementary schools in the Blue Valley School District.
Shulman has a lot of experience that brings insight to the cheer squad.
It started in college. I cheered at Southwest Missouri State for 2 years, and then the Chiefs had the only co-ed squad in the NFL, and I still wanted to do it. And I was coaching high school and colleges when I was in college myself. And when the Chiefs came up, I tried out and I made the squad. And I was on the squad for the last 2 years.
I think he has like new experiences like some of us don't have. Being a Chiefs cheerleader, I think, is what adds to that. He has a lot of like experience and things we don't. Andy, like with a Chiefs cheerleader, really brings a lot of knowledge, and I feel like that helps. And then he also gives us tips that are really helpful.
I think that Andy brings a fresh set of eyes when it comes to our team, and I think that he's really emphasized just positivity. I feel like he's often just really emphasizing that they should be smiling and looking happy.
Not only has there been an expansion of general knowledge, but deeper bonds are created each and every day.
We do have a strong coaching staff this year, which is great. I think we have to teach Andy new things. Like he's teaching us, we're learning new strategies, like ways of doing things, and like that's different from how he probably did it when he was a cheerleader and I'm a coach. So I think it's definitely like a pro. I think just like being able to learn all together, grow as a team, and also grow with Andy.
They're just busting their tails to do everything that we ask them, and you can just see the talent coming out. So I have high expectations for them because I know they can do really well.
As our coaching staff goes, it's been predominantly Northwest alumni. It's been nice to have some fresh perspective, and I think that Andy brings a different voice and a different opinion to the room and to our staff, and definitely offers Natalie and I a different perspective than what I think we're used to and what we would come up with.
Shulman hopes to not only guide the cheer team, but push them through their challenges throughout the season while excelling on the mat. This is Lily Mesmer for Husky Headlines.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Monkey business.
What's that?
It's my favorite flavor at a new local ice cream shop. Rama tells us more.
August 28th marked the grand opening of Handel's Ice Cream Shop in Overland Park, with another location opening soon in Missouri. Handel's has attracted many customers to its Oak Park Mall location.
As more recently, about a year ago, decided wouldn't it be fun to take all I've learned in the restaurant industry, but do it as a business owner, and so move back to Overland Park, open up here right by Oak Park Mall. In the back, we've got 2 very large, very sophisticated, expensive ice cream machines. In our busy season, we'll be making 30, 40, 50 batches in a day.
With plenty of batches of both classical and limited edition flavors, Handel serves their customers this ice cream in a unique way.
Our space is a little different than some ice cream shops where the guests are all outside. It's where they're coming up to a walk-up window. There's 5 different serving windows that our cashiers will be ready to greet you. So the team members are in here running around finding ice cream, but it's an outdoor experience, so the line builds up. We have lots of seating. We will outside, and it's a little different experience where you're looking at the menu board with lots of flavors. We have sundaes, we have shakes, we have what we call hurricanes.
We do hurricanes, which is ice cream that's blended with different toppings or candies. We have sundaes. We also have Handle Pops, which is like a scoop of ice cream that's then dipped in chocolate and it's on a popsicle stick.
The workers enjoy scooping the ice cream and working with customers.
I'd say it's pretty fun. It's kind of like playing a Papa's Pizzeria game. You kind of like scoop ice cream for customers. Sometimes you get like requests to like make a float or a shake, and those are lots of fun because you get to like do a lot more hands-on technical things than just like plain scooping ice cream. The important aspect of the job is to like smile and try to be friendly to the guests. So overall, to get like a very friendly, personal vibe in hopes that they can return and feel good about this experience.
Both Handel's locations hope to bring a fun and social place for people to enjoy ice cream. This is Rama Rahima for Husky Headlines.
Want some entertainment with that sweet treat? BB&W Theater is putting together a new production.
The theater season is in full swing with this year's student-directed play, The Identity Project. Senior director Riley Sogstad is excited to take the lead on this project.
The Identity Project is a mad scientist paranormal drama. The premise of the story is that 7 people wake up in a room with no memory of their previous life. It's unlike anything else that is in our theater season. It's creepy, it's paranormal. I am stepping into the role as the director, so I picked the show. I will be designing the set. I will be blocking the whole show. I cast the show.
Other crew and cast members say they are having a great time working with Sogstad.
I knew Riley would put on a great show. Riley's, first off, a phenomenal actor, but also understands theater really well. and she understands the things that need to happen, the things that go into a show, and it's been really great to see her like come into that role of directing.
She had so many brilliant and creative ideas that I would have never thought of myself. She's playing with lights and sound and makeup in a way that I would have never thought of, and is going to make the show so interesting to watch.
As rehearsals continue, Sogstad and stage manager Natalie Churchill hope that the cast will grow close through their shared experience, despite the intensity of the show.
This show will require a lot of ensemble building, a lot of trust, and a lot of teamwork. They will naturally have to learn to trust each other since they will be lifting each other and throwing each other around.
There's a lot of stage fighting in this show. Everyone's enraged, everyone's throwing themselves at each other, they're falling off of raised platforms, they're being dragged off stage. Working with this cast is incredible. Out of the people we have here, I couldn't have asked for a better cast. There's an immediate bond.
No group can bond like a cast can. You just spend so much time with each other, and you become a family by the end of the show.
Through cast activities and individual dedication, they plan to put on a great show. Make sure to catch the Identity Project on October 6th and 8th. This is Scarlett Chu for Husky Headlines.
That's all for this month's edition of Husky Headlines.
We'll see you next time. Have a great day, Northwest.